A change takes place at some point in time. Form as a dream seems to vanish, and the sense of wholeness that comes from identifying with it all of a sudden. Many people are currently going through a tipping moment. Consequently, how should we interpret this? The time has arrived for people to start asking more profound questions about their world, and two of the most basic spiritual questions are: what exactly is it? When one finally emerges from the form dream, what does it signify? Have you ever asked, who am I? What does the pronoun I actually mean when we attempt to describe who we are? So, what is it like to delve into that mystery? Who or what is this I that we're talking about? How does it work, and what does it not include? Because of the depth of these inquiries, we are compelled to probe more than meets the eye. The term I conjures up images of the body for the vast majority of people. When asked to identify themselves, it's the first thing they'll point to. Well, obviously, this body, that's I. That, however, is merely the first step. The mind follows, which consists of a person's thoughts, memories, and routines. This I develops through time in the mind. Along with those ideas come feelings, which add another layer of I. When that happens, you could start to believe things like, I am this body, I am my thoughts, my memories, and my emotions. Additional labels are welcome. I am John. I am an architect. I am a father. Your sense of self seems to solidify as the picture gets clearer with each addition. However, that alone is insufficient. Perhaps you could delve further. Write your autobiography, cataloging all the life events that shape you. In order to reach the essence of your identity, maybe you journey further into your unconscious with a psychotherapist, discovering long-lost desires, feelings, and recollections from your youth. Now I understand who I am could be the belief you've been waiting for. But then the truth sets in, and it makes you wonder, what happens as time goes on? As time passes, our bodies undergo changes. A haze settles over the body, and the once distinctly defined I follows suit. While 50 years may feel like a lifetime while you're young, it really isn't that long when compared to the vastness of the cosmos. What part of I is still there after all these years? Perhaps some memoirs of yours stashed away in used bookshops. They might be discovered by a distant relative who wonders, who was this person? Think about how your closest loved one's memories start to fade, and it becomes even more clear. Even your loved ones, who are now the only ones who seem to have clung to what little of your identity they have left, will eventually fade away. The only thing that will be left after a few generations are photographs, and even those will fade with time. As the sun rises, the I that appeared solid and unmovable begins to fade. Is that our whole purpose? Does that truly encompass our entire identity? Are the physical self, the mental self, and the memories the only forms that can genuinely contain an individual's identity? Are we merely a sum of our mental and emotional processes, as well as our bodily experiences? Does it stop there, though? What if you could erase all memories at now second? Just pretend for a second that your life has never been and will never be. Nothing, no names, no labels, no memories defines you. This is all that exists. I won't even bother to tell you who you are. When we free ourselves from our mental and emotional burdens, what is left? You are not defined by the forms that comprise your daily experience. If you could touch this instant, this formless, present reality, you would begin to comprehend a deeper truth. Something else exists beyond the physical, mental, and emotional aspects of a person. When your mind is free from the tornado of self-identity, you may be more authentic. You will find your authentic self in that tranquility, away from the hustle and bustle of life. The paradox, however, is that it is precisely when you let go of all the narratives, labels, and past experiences that you are able to meet your fundamental truth, an unmovable presence that is your authentic self. It is at this very place that the I dwells. None of these things, your ideas, your past, or your future, make you who you are. More authentically, you exist in this state of complete awareness than in any self-contemplation you might conjure. In light of that, how does this impact you? Maybe we should stop trying to define everything. So, who am I really? That isn't the question, but my identity is what I think it is, the sum of all my labels, opinions, and identities. As soon as the I emerges, one can directly experience their essence identity, as the light of consciousness that is ever present in the quiet. Despite changing forms, this essence is ever present and unchanging. Being awake persists even when this physical form vanishes, like a tiny tentacle reaching out into the world. Sit with this concept for a while. What is lost when your past doesn't exist and doesn't define you? The response is, not anything crucial. A more robust sense of self arises in this quiet when the mind is not telling you who you are. This is why, as I mentioned in Stillness Speaks, being motionless allows one to be one with themselves. You can feel your true self, unencumbered by time, space, or age, when you sit quietly and let your mind wander. That silence is constant, whether you're 20 or 90. You are liberated from the misery that results from identifying with the form, just by being still. As our physical selves, our past, and our memories undergo inevitable transformations, the sense of self that is firmly attached to them also gradually fades away. Living a life consumed by my body, my stories, and my past causes me immense suffering since it binds me to an unconscious, dreamlike existence. For the vast majority of individuals, this is life, a never-ending loop of self-doubt and misery. I don't feel comfortable here. I am incomplete without these people. Discovering what is beyond form is the only surefire way to end the never-ending pursuit of more forms of identification, which ultimately leads to a sense of incompleteness. This reality isn't far away. In fact, it's closer than we realize. What we would refer to as God within, or the ever-present presence, becomes apparent. The truth that the cosmos discloses to those who are drawn to creation, those who have always sought power, riches, and conquest in pursuit of form, is the universe itself. Motivating them was the need to break free of an internal feeling of inadequacy. Still, they were never quite at ease, regardless of their accomplishments. The paradox is that even though they were victorious over the world, they were unable to quell their inner turmoil. Those who have felt an overwhelming need to achieve greater heights in all areas of life have molded human history. Stillness, not frenzied action, is where true calm is found. Realizing there is an essence beyond form is where the greatest of humanity resides. Staying rooted in stillness, the everlasting dimension that lives eternally in the moment, is more important than just creating, doing, or doing more. Without this stability, taking any kind of action will simply make things worse, leading to an endless loop of form-driven cravings and restlessness. Being aware of one's surroundings is the cornerstone of doing anything. When discussing manifestation, this is of the utmost importance. No matter how big or little your ambition, you need to ask yourself, do I have what it takes to make it happen? Is it possible to build upon being, on remaining still? Building without stability is possible if you neglect that step and concentrate solely on doing. Nothing matters beyond the comprehension of existence and the acceptance of that shapeless, everlasting calm. All else is merely a form that will eventually fade away. Starting from a state of being, firmly planted in the quiet, makes for an unmovable base. This is the place where genuine manifestation takes root. Achieving a state of pure, conscious being is more important than increasing one's mental capacity, one's level of effort, or one's level of accomplishment. Not in the visible, but in the quiet, at the very center of our being, is where change takes place. Therefore you must inquire, on what do you build your life? Are you creating forms to your existence in the hopes that they would bring you serenity, or are you starting from a point of formless, eternal being? You are more than the sum of your experiences and hardships. When you learn to see beyond your outward appearance, you remain eternal, unchanging, and whole. An encounter that goes beyond words and into pure being. This is the strength of genuine realization. Subscribing to this channel is an excellent idea if you want to learn more about being conscious, living in the present moment, and other similar topics. If this message made sense to you and you want to keep growing in the future, leave a remark with the word "now." To show your support, hit that like button or share this video with someone you think could use a little nudge to be more present and less rushed.